Hi, my name is April, and I just wanted to come this afternoon and share our story with you in hopes that it encourages you in your walk maybe today. It started back in November of 2019 when me and my family got some devastating news about someone very special in my life. It's my dad. I've always been super close to my dad. He was my hero, my protector, and best friend. And we found out that he was in kidney failure and that his kidneys were functioning at about 40% at the time, and it quickly escalated down to 30%, 20%. And we were told at 15% that he would have to go on dialysis. And so just kind of not accepting that for a way of life for him for the rest of his life, we began to look into options and what do we have. Was he a candidate for a kidney and for a kidney transplant? Of course, I was at the top of the list. I would love to give my dad a kidney. My mom was at the top of the list, and as well as his twin brother. But we were quickly all three disqualified from being a candidate for a kidney for him. So at that point, what do you do? What's the next step? How do you get the word out to let people even know what's happening? Number one, to pray, but number two, maybe they want to be a donor. And so maybe that's the way the Lord is going to use to heal him. And the whole time believing that God could heal him at any moment, but not really understanding or knowing what God had in mind, and what his plan was. So we decided, we had been told that some people put messages out on billboard or t-shirts or just shared through social media. So I knew that was something I was good at and could do for my dad. And so I quickly put our story out the next day on social media. It was shared over 800 times by friends and family. And so through that process, we just had hundreds of people come and want to be tested, which was a huge testament to me of my dad and how he had impacted a community through working in law enforcement all of my life, 44 years in law enforcement. And people just coming through with story after story of how my dad had touched their life and how they wanted to this is not just like giving somebody a $15 gift card. This is a kidney. This is an organ, and it's such a special gift. But to see how many people was willing to come and be tested to see if they were a match was just overwhelming and so humbling for our family. We found a match in less than a month, and the normal wait time for a kidney is somewhere between 7 to 8 years. So the miracle was not only did we find the person in less than about 30 days and it was a perfect match, but also the Lord chose to use such a special, unique person. It was somebody that we did know. Her testimony and what the Lord's done in her life and how this just hooks into it, and it's another step of obedience. It's just mind-blowing. We could have looked across the whole United States and the world and never found a perfect match, and his match lives less than 2 miles away from him, and it's someone we've known for a number of years. So here's our journey. Please sit back and listen to the testimony, and then help us share this on social media. Share it with the news outlets. In a time, in a world where we're at right now, this story needs to be told, because this is a good story of law enforcement, and this is a good story of how somebody lived their life and did the right thing, and then the Lord used my dad as a testimony, to grow someone else's ministry. And so thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for your time, and keep praying for us. Keep up with our journey.
So some people just ask why I decided to donate, and like I tell many, I didn't just wake up and decide I wanted to donate a kidney to be nice. I'd come home from work one night about 11:30, and I was really tired and laid on my bed, and was just scrolling through social media looking, and I seen where his daughter April had posted about Terrell needing a kidney, and I don't even know what the post said. I didn't even read the whole post, and the Holy Spirit just told me right then that I had this man's kidney, and I literally threw my phone on the bed and had just said out loud, I don't have time for this, God. I don't have time to donate a kidney, and I was done. And so I woke up the next morning at like 4 o'clock and immediately started fasting and praying for God to give me a sign, give me a word, give me scripture, give me a song, give me something. And on Friday morning, I woke up, and the only thing that was in my spirit and in my heart was love thy neighbor. And like that stuck with me. And so I called April on about 10 o'clock that morning and messaged her on social media and said, tell me what I have to do. And I knew that I had Turl's kidney. Like, I knew that it was me, and I was the one that was going to be donating. And so I just decided to be obedient, and this is where it's led me to.
Okay, when we started this journey, we knew it was going to be the long haul. We knew it wasn't going to be a sprint, that it was going to be a marathon. In fact, most people have to wait 7 to 8 years to get a kidney. Mine, in 30 days or less, we knew who our donor was and already had a perfect match. A lot of people have asked me if I knew my donor, and I actually did. She was in school with my youngest daughter at Phil Campbell, and then later in life I became acquainted with her again through law enforcement. I was in law enforcement for a long time, and at that point she was doing drugs and running around doing things she really shouldn't be doing. But that's the second acquaintance that I had with her and encounter with her was during my professional career as a law enforcement officer. I actually ended up putting her in jail, and it's kind of strange to a lot of people that someone like that would then turn around and give me a kidney. But she's got the story that brings all this together. You know, we started out asking for a kidney, and we wasn't praying just for a kidney. We prayed for the right kidney. And that's where God comes on the scene. You know, He picks the perfect person for the situation that we're in. And so that's how I ended up getting a kidney that I had no idea. If you said, give me a list of 100 people that would donate a kidney to you, her name wouldn't be on there. I had no idea until she come forward and donated the kidney that she was even in the picture.
I had gotten a call on December 5th from Vanderbilt and told me, it was me and my son in the car, and we were headed to the Christmas parade, and they called, and it was coming through my radio, and she said, hey, this is Kara from Vanderbilt, and we just want to let you know that you and your daddy are a perfect match. And I was like, you know, perfect match, who is this? And she was like, and so I'm jumping out of the car so my son can't hear it, because I thought that's who it was about the kidney transplant, but I wasn't really for sure. And she said, you and your dad, y'all are a perfect match. And she said, like, it couldn't be any more perfect. And I said, he's not my dad. He, you know, we're not even kin. And she said, are you serious? And I said, yes. He, you know, we are no kin at all. And she said, that is rare. She said, you know, it's perfect. And I said, no, that is God. You know, I let her know real quick that God picked this kidney. I mean, it was not me. I mean, it was clearly God. And so that just goes to show that, you know, it has nothing to do with what I wanted or what Mr. Potter wanted. He has orchestrated every bit of this. Like Turl had said earlier that, you know, he had arrested me, and this just goes to show that, you know, if you're alive, that there's a purpose for your life. And I lived a bad life for 5 years. Been arrested many times. Was an IV user, and God had told me on November 8th that I had another man's kidney. Like, so, you know, there's a purpose for your life, and you have to be obedient to God. And like, who would have thought that God, you know, that my kidney could help save another man's life? After all that I've done, after all the drugs that I used. And you know, God he uses me, and He has given me a gift of loving people and being there to help people, because that's my passion. And my slogan is helping one soul at a time. And so here I am, just helping another soul. I don't want any credit for it. I want God to get all the glory, because this is not something I decided to do. You know, I have a ministry that God has blessed me with, and it's called The Place of Grace, and everything on it, is helping one soul at a time. We can't help millions at a time, but we can help one. And if just one comes to know Jesus Christ through helping them, it's worth it all. And but God, He doesn't leave us where we're at. I'm so amazed daily that I'm giving a piece of me to another human. And He has restored me, and He's made me whole, and I'm healthy. I mean, I got to see the scans on the computer. You would have never thought that I stuck a needle in my arm, and you would have never thought that I had done any drug. And that has nothing to do with me. That is all God. And I just want people to know that. A little bit about the Place of Grace. God He told me in 2013 that He would open a home for women, and that I would run it. And what it is people call me 5, 6, 7 days a week, and I go out to the women where they're at, and I help them get into treatment. I place them into treatment, pay for them to get into treatment, and I'm there with them through their journey, because when I was in addiction, no one helped me. So that's why God has given me the gift to love these women and meet them where they're at, and it is a gift. That's all I can say about it. It is a gift. And we have a board, and we have everything established that we need to open up a facility. We're waiting on a building right now, but everyone has a testimony, and the word says that we're saved by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, and we are to share that. And through this whole journey with Mr. Potter, he's just adding to it. He's adding to my testimony, because being a Christian and walking hand in hand with Christ, you have to be obedient. And sometimes that means doing things that you could never imagine yourself doing. I don't like idle time, so I feel like God is going to show me something in this idle time. I work many hours a week, and I'm a go-getter, but sitting at home for these 6 weeks, I feel like He's going to reveal something to me and bring things to light that I've never been able to sit still and imagine. So I'm pretty excited about that. I just want to encourage you that if you're watching this and you don't, you've missed your purpose, I should have been dead a long time ago. Like I shouldn't be here. God had a different plan for my life. Did I know that I was going to be coming to Nashville and donating a kidney? I mean, no. That was nowhere in my 7 journals that I have. Nowhere. But, we as Christians are supposed to be obedient to the Lord. Some people are called to go to Guatemala. Some people are called to go to Africa. Some people go to China. Some people are called to give an organ. And this has nothing to do with me or what I'm doing. It's all about being obedient to Christ. And you don't know what kind of relationships can be formed. I would have never thought that I would go to Turl and them's house and sit and talk to them, or texting in their daughter and all 3 of them in a group text pretty much daily, and it's not going to stop now, because He's got my kidney. At least we can do is talk every day, right? Sure. So just be obedient to the Lord. If God's calling you to do something, just get up and do it. And He's not going to steer you wrong. You don't have to get advice from other people. Some people say, "Well, you didn't tell anybody about this." I didn't, because I didn't care what anybody had to say about it. I didn't need the advice from other people. I knew what God has called me to do, and there's people who don't understand it, and that's okay, because I'm not living for them. So my advice to you is just be obedient to the Lord and what He calls you to do, and walk it out in faith.
Jocelyn's doing such a great work now with her ministry, contacting the people that's been in jail and in jail, and the people that really needs help. And she's doing an amazing job reaching out to those people. And as we talk about sharing their kidneys, you know, I don't know if I'm supposed to go to her birthday parties or not, but you know, we feel real close now. It's like she's my little girl. And I'm so thankful and so grateful that she would be willing to let God use her in this donation of her kidney. This is all about God. This is not about me. It's not about her. It's about God.